Well, good evening, Tubies. It's Psychic Bob. It's Saturday night, and we're going to have our Saturday night seance. I tell you, I'm so excited. It's been a really great week for me. I received notice from the Spiritualist National Union in the United Kingdom. The Psychic Bob has been accepted as a member of the Spiritualist National Union called the SNU. And the SNU is a wonderful group of spiritualists. They do a lot of work all over the world. And it used to be you had to be British to be a member. Well, they've expanded it, and now as an American, I'm allowed membership, and I applied and received notice. Got set up on their website. I'm waiting for my membership card to come. I'm going to soon have a little official card and a welcome pack, and I'll share that with you. But anyways, I want to just tell you about that because tonight I thought, before we get into our seance, I would share with you the principles of the Spiritualist National Union. And there are 7 principles that guide the Spiritualist National Union. So I thought we would go through the 7 principles. So we're going to read them here. And I'll go into more detail later on of all of them, but we'll just start with the first principle. The first principle is that they say they believe in the fatherhood of God. The second principle is the brotherhood of men. The third principle is the communion of spirits and the ministry of angels. The next principle is the continuous existence of the human soul. Number 5? Excuse me, I'm losing count here. They didn't number them. Personal responsibility. Number 6, compensation and retribution hereafter for all the good and evil deeds done on earth. And principle number 7, eternal progress open to every human soul. So I think this is really beautiful. These are some of the guiding principles. And actually, I thought tonight I'd read the elaboration on principle number 1, the fatherhood of God. So let me read what it says. This is according to the SNU, Spiritualist National Union. It says, the fatherhood of God. By a study of nature, that is, by trying to understand the laws of cause and effect, which govern all that is happening around us, we recognize that there is a creative force in the universe. This force or energy not only created the whole universe, but life itself in its many forms, and is continuing to create today, creating not only from nothing, but of itself, and the effects of this eternal creation can be seen all around us today, even in the farthest reaches of outer space, as has been shown in its astounding grandeur by the remarkable photographs taken through the medium of the Hubble telescope. This leads us to acknowledge that God, the creative force, manifests directly or indirectly in all things. We know this power as God, and as we are part of the life created by God, we acknowledge God as our Father. Now, I'm going to elaborate. I think that's a beautiful explanation. But I have to tell you, in a lot of spiritual circles, they also say that God is Mother. So their principles in the SNU are a little maybe dated in some of the language. This is my personal view. I don't disagree with them. But in the spiritualist churches in America, many times they pray to Mother, Father, God. So whichever way you understand divinity, know there's divine power. And so that's the first principle of the SNU. And each week we'll talk about another principle. But I wanted just to bring the 7 principles with you, as I am now a member of the Spiritualist National Union. And I'm going to be doing a lot more work for spiritualism. Now, some of you say, wait, I thought you're Wiccan. Yes, I'm Wiccan as well. I practice Wicca and spiritualism because to me the two faiths really work together. So Psychic Bob is still here. I'm still Wiccan and I'm still spiritualist, as I've always been. But the thing is, I'm now able to actually be part of a formal spiritualist organization, which will help me in my mission to promote spiritualism. So I want to share that with you today, and I hope that gives you some some things to think about. If you want to look this up, go to the to snu.org.uk, and you can see the principles there. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here, and we're going to have our seance. And I know a lot of you have been saying, "PsychicBob, when are you going to get seances going?" Well, we're going to make it a weekly thing now that we're in the autumn and it's getting cold, and I'm not going to be able to go out and do as many night walks anymore. So tonight we're going to sit in the red light. There is a tradition in spiritualism of holding what they call red light seances. And I've done this before here, but for those of you who are new, you may not have seen this. But the red light is traditional in many seance circles because it's believed that red light does not inhibit the production of phenomena. In many seances, they use a dark room environment because the ectoplasm can form around a medium. Ectoplasm is a spiritual substance that is often emitted from a medium's body to help produce phenomena. So we're going to sit in the red light tonight as part of our seance in the event that anything paranormal may happen. Now, hopefully tonight my spirit guides will come through. I never know. As I always tell people, we never know what's going to happen, but we're hoping for the best. So maybe we'll get some communications from the other side. So why don't you pull up your chairs? If you were here at my home, I would just have you put your chairs in a little circle, as we always do. In the Spiritualist Church, we used to gather in a little seance room in a circle of chairs. And so I invite you to pull up your chair to your computer and know that you are virtually joining our circle tonight. So welcome to our seance circle. Well, I'm going to take down the lights here and switch over to the red lights. So let's see how this goes. Hold on, I got to switch it over. Oops. Ooh, we're in the dark. We're in the red light. How's that? All right, well, I'm going to go into trance, and I'll see you guys when I get back. Oh, greetings. This is Fletcher here. Give us just a moment while we get control of the medium's vibration. Oh, there we go. Well, it's so good to be back with all of you. I had such a fun time at the Halloween seance coming and seeing all of you. And here we are again tonight. Well, we got a few people be wanting to speak, so I won't beleaguer the point. I'll be stepping from the medium's body. This is Fletcher, over and out. Greetings. This is Alfred. I hope that you can hear me out there. When we have the opportunity to come through a medium, it is a very special experience for us. We should not take these communications for granted, for it is a very complex process that we must go through to come here to manifest. Were I to step outside of our medium's body, you would not hear my voice. It may be that his vocal apparatus would continue, or his mouth would continue, but the vocal apparatus would be disembodied. If We take our time to mold closely to the medium's vibration. We gain control of the nervous system. We're able to operate parts of the body in order that we might speak through the medium. I have temporarily taken control through an overshadowing of his consciousness. I am controlling the vocal cords and the muscles of the face. I shall step from the body temporarily and let you hear how the vocal difference is occurring. So now I should step from. And when I come back into the body, you can again hear my voice. And so we bring this to you today to understand the phenomena. Our frequency in the spirit world is at a higher level than your human ears can perceive. This is why we must use a medium, for it allows us to impinge our energy on a physical apparatus, that is the vocal cords, the larynx, in order to speak to you. And as you saw in just a few moments ago, when I withdrew my power, I still had control over the muscles, yet I was not controlling nor able to impress my voice upon the medium's vibration upon his body. And so we have a great appreciation for mediums, for they allow us to manifest our voices more fully. Our voices that come through our medium are somewhat different than what you would hear in our earthly lives. The difference is that we must work with a different set of vocal cords. We approximate our vibration as closely as we can, but if you were to hear me in person, you should say, "Alfred, you sound somewhat different than I remember you on earth." And this is because, again, we are working through an instrument that is slightly different than our own. If you should visit with a medium and a loved one comes through and their voice sounds somewhat similar, though not exact, understand that it is because of the limited range of vocal expression of the medium's vocal cords. The vibrations can never be exact, only approximate. And so this accounts for why when you hear a spirit that you know come through a medium, the sound may be slightly different than that which you were expecting. Yet there should be enough similarity, and the personality of the person should come through in a way that you will have no doubt. I thought that it would be helpful for you to understand how it is that we of the spirit world work through a medium. This medium's power is a little weak tonight. He's been doing a lot of work with us over the week, so we shall not overtax his body. But I shall let others who wish to speak now come forward. Thank you for receiving me. My name is Alfred. Greetings, my dears. My name is Rose. We're so thrilled to be here with all of you. I must echo the words of Alfred. It is very generous of mediums all over the world who allow those of us who dwell in the spirit world to come and to visit with all of you. During my earthly life, I did not believe in the spirit world. I thought it was all a bit mad, and I thought mediums were deranged. My neighbor Madge used to say, "Rose, will you come with me to the Spiritualist Church?" And I used to say, "Oh, Madge, I do not believe in all of that. You go, my dear, have a good time, but no, it's not for me." I used to take a little pride in being a member of the Church of England. I used to go to church, wear my finest clothes. But you know, it was all vanity, my dear. It was all for show. And yet, you know, eventually I died. Oh, my dear, I died during the war. That's a whole story in itself, but let me just sum it up by saying I went out of my house when I was not supposed to, during an air raid, thinking I knew better than the government. And I was struck by a lorry, and I found myself in that place of darkness. It was through this medium's work, his spirit rescue work, that I was brought over to the light. He used to do a great service by holding circles, spiritualist gatherings, where he would do rescue work for souls. And this is how I came to know him. He brought me out of that place of darkness and over into his world, to his time, and eventually on to the light. And so I have a great gratitude for him, for his generosity and his help in serving those of us who are in the spirit world. Try to understand, my dear, that there exist many souls who reside in the spirit world. And the spirit world is like your earth world. There are good places and there are bad places. I went to the bad place. Oh, I suppose it wasn't hell, it wasn't fire and brimstone. No, I suppose those realms exist, though I have not seen them. But I was in a place of purgatory, a place of darkness, where I was isolated and left to my own devices. And I went to that place because I rejected the true love in the light of God. We were listening in earlier as the medium was reading the 7 principles of the Spiritualist National Union. And during my lifetime I did read and know of these principles. As I said, my neighbor Madge, well, she was a spiritualist, and she gave me pamphlets from the church, and it had the principles. I never took the time, my dears, to even read it. I must admit it was my downfall. And so I thought that religion was all about who could put on the best show. Oh, I was very wealthy in my life, and I gave a lot of money to the church. But I did not do it in love. I did it for the prestige of having my name on a plaque, or being called out in the service as the largest donor. It was vanity, my dear, it was not love. And so I encourage all of you to learn from my example. Do not live a religious life, my dear. Live a spiritual life. Religion is being bound up in rules and regulations. Spiritualism teaches that one can have a communion with God and with the spirit world and have love in one's life. And this is the key that I lost, my dear, was doing things in love. All things done in love make an impression in the spirit world. Your own soul will grow brighter, and those who help in love are truly helped. Do you know, when I came over here, I had to review my life. Yes, you do see your life in all its totality. And do you know, my dears, for all of my wealth, I truly never helped anyone. I was only for myself, and this is what led me to the place of darkness. Do not be as I was. Do not sacrifice eternal life and light for a little earthly prestige. It is not worth it, my dears. In spiritualism, the other point that I heard the medium speaking of tonight was eternal progression for every soul. This, my dear, is what saved me, even though I was in darkness. This medium and his fellow band of spiritualists talked me over to the light. They said, Rose, come to us, let us help you. I had a little trepidation and fear, and I said, how is it that I'm being drawn to this doorway? And what happened in my case was that I went out of purgatory into literally the living room of the medium, and I felt my own spiritual vibration drawn to him. And for a brief moment I was able to speak to the group through him. The medium, interestingly at the time, this medium, our medium, Bob, did not understand what was happening, nor did I understand what was happening. But yet the spirit world was guiding us. Fletcher helped me to come through, to communicate with the group. The group helped me to understand my situation. And thus I was able to let go of my fears and angers and prejudices and blend into that beautiful light of the spirit world. It is true that every soul, no matter how degenerate, can progress into the spirit world. I cannot tell you the joy that it gave me to get out of that place of darkness. I was told that I was in it for close to 60 years. Can you imagine, my dear? But you see, in the spirit world, there is not the sense of passing of time as there is on earth. And so, whether it is 1 minute or 60 years is no difference to a spirit. But when I arrived over here into the light, oh, my soul was so much at peace. And do you know who one of the very first people I met was? Well, I did meet Fletcher, who brought me over. But then behind Fletcher was standing my neighbor. Yes, Madge was here. And she said, well, it took long enough, my dear, but we got you over here. And I must say, well, my dears, I was a bit at a loss for words, and I suppose I was a bit embarrassed, for I thought of all the rude things I had thought about my neighbor Madge, and the words I had said to her. I called her being daft and a little deluse, you know, and you spiritualists are a little mad. And, well, look, she ended up being right in the end. Oh, no, my dear, let me just clarify. It's not that I'm saying that spiritualism is the only religion. All religions will lead you to the light. But I must say that I find what they have taught to be of immense value to me, and I encourage you to consider it on your own path. Yes. All right, yes. Excuse me, my dears. Fletcher has interrupted me and says that the power is growing a little weak. So we're not going to beleaguer this much longer. But I do, my dears, thank you so much for receiving me, and I am truly thankful. Do in your day try to remember that all about you are spirit guides waiting to help you. If you will but reach to us, we shall come and bring you our presence. It need not be a fearful experience, my dear. Let it be one of joy, and know that Alfred and Fletcher and I come to help you always. Oh, my dear, the power is starting to fade, and I feel myself withdrawing from our medium. But I do thank you for receiving me, and I do look forward to speaking with all of you again. Well, Tubies, I'm back. I have so enjoyed this time to gather and commune with the other side. I could feel Rose in my body today. I could hear her. I knew Alfred was here. And when I channel, I'm usually out of the way, but today I could hear little snippets, and I felt their power. Whenever the spirits come through me in a channeling, it really stimulates my nervous system. It uplifts me. It makes me feel really good. So it's always an uplifting experience in my experience, and I hope it is for you. Speaking of channeling, if you've enjoyed this, you might want to expand and explore your own psychic abilities. Every week I teach I teach a psychic development class. And this last few weeks we've been working on trance channeling. We're going to continue with trance channeling this upcoming Saturday. And don't worry if you haven't taken the other classes. I designed the classes so you can come in wherever we are and start learning and developing. So don't say, oh, I can't go, I haven't been there before. No, just come and join us. The price of the class is only $30. I do charge for this because it is professional level psychic training. And we hold the class every Saturday at noon Eastern time from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. It's a 2-hour class for only $30. It's held via Zoom. So if you want to register for that, go to my website, PsychicBob.com. That link will be below this video. And go to my official website. And you'll see when you scroll down, it'll say Psychic Development Class. There's a PayPal button there. Just click on that, enter your information, and it will notify me, and you'll be in the class. And on Saturday, about a half hour before the class, I send the Zoom link to all the class registrants, and you can come into our classroom. We start at 12 noon, so I hope you'll join us this Saturday. You know, we are going to continue with trance channeling, and we've had some really profound experiences, and I hope you'll join us this Saturday. Also, a lot of you have been writing saying, Psychic Bob, do you still do psychic readings? How do we get on your schedule? Yes, I am still doing readings. I'm a full-time professional psychic, for those of you who don't know. So if you want to get on my schedule for a private session, give me a call at my office. The easiest way for a private reading is to call me. Okay, so my number is 703. Take this down. Here's my phone number. It's also going to be in the info box below, but just in case you don't see that. My phone number is 703-825-3929. So give me a call. Get on my schedule for a private reading. I would love to read with you. You know, my readings are an hour long, and it's a full hour of you and me sitting together one-on-one. And we cover everything. We cover your soul journey, your past, your present, your future. Identify your spirit guides. I bring messages from loved ones. All of that, and, you know, even more. So if you've been wanting to say, gee, I'd love to sit down with Psychic Bob for an hour, pick his brain, give me a call. We'll get you on the schedule for a reading. Also, you know, don't forget, if you want to, also join my psychic development class as well. So it's every Saturday over there. Anyways, go to my website, PsychicBob.com. You can read about all that. I hope you guys and I will connect in the coming week, and I look forward to it. Listen, thanks for being here tonight. You guys are best. I love you. Keep it here at Spirit Channel. We got more coming. Tomorrow is Sunday, and that means that Sunday night is Sunday Night Live Hangout. Be back here at my channel at 7 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. That's 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 5 Mountain, 4 p.m. Pacific. We're going to have a live hangout. I'm going to do live psychic readings for people in the chat. And we hope you'll come out and join us for that. We have a lot of fun. We just hang out, talk about spiritual things, do some readings. It's a live hangout with Psychic Bob. So if you want to have some fun, hang out with me. Join us live on Sunday, where we meet here at my YouTube channel. All right, guys. Well, listen, thank you so much. I love you. It's Saturday night. Psychic Bob, I'm going to relax a little bit. Had a busy week doing readings. I'm going to Netflix and chill. I hope wherever you are, you're having a wonderful night. Tell me in the box below, did you enjoy the seance tonight? And did the spirits tell you anything that you enjoyed that was interesting? I want to hear your thoughts. Put them in the box below in the comments section. You guys rest. I'll see you back here tomorrow for Sunday Night Hangout, 7 p.m. Eastern. Till then, may all of you always blessed be.